Good morning, America. Breaking news, 5 alarm fire. Massive flames explode outside Philadelphia.
PD is now advising the entire building is on fire in the rear.
Smoke floods the sky. Emergency responders on the scene racing to evacuate residents.
Senator Al Franken facing huge backlash for this photo, groping radio host Leanne Tweeden and accused of forcing her to kiss him on a USO tour. Now the senator apologizing and President Trump weighs in overnight. Leanne Tweeden is here live only on GMA.
The murderer who escaped from a psychiatric hospital flying from Hawaii to California is now speaking out from behind bars. How he got free? Did he have help on the inside?
And holiday travel alert. More than 100 million coast to coast bracing for snow, heavy rain, and severe storms as the winter blast moves east. Up to 2 feet expected in some areas as we kick off one of the busiest travel weeks of the year.
Live in Times Square, this is GMA with Robin Roberts, George Stephanopoulos, and Michael Strahan.
Good morning, America. Hope you're well this Friday morning. A lot of you getting ready to travel for the holiday this weekend could face a messy one. And boy, we have a lot to get to this morning.
It is a busy Friday morning, and looking forward to speaking with Leanne Tweeden. She is here live in the studio with us. That is just ahead. But first, we want to get to that breaking news. A 5-alarm fire outside of Philadelphia overnight, injuring at least 20 people. Look at the scary scene and take a live look at it now. ABC's Eva Pilgrim is there in Westchester, Pennsylvania, with all the details. Good morning, Eva.
Good morning, Robin. Yeah, you can see that smoke still coming from this building. The roof completely gone, fire ravaging it overnight. A lot of the people inside, they couldn't get out on their own, and they needed help. Overnight, workers scrambling to save elderly residents from a massive fire devouring the senior living community outside Philadelphia. At least 20 people injured.
PD is now advising the entire building is on fire in the rear.
The first call for help coming in just before 11 p.m. Employees wheeling blanket-wrapped patients to safety, crowding the road with wheelchairs and beds.
It's scary. I mean, there's a lot of people that really need help, and they're all out in the street, and they need to be kept warm. I'm just hoping that they find a way to take care of them tonight.
Thick smoke flooding the sky, flames bursting, the roof collapsing.
Up and down Franklin Street, this was packed full of probably several hundred yards of ambulances waiting on call.
Emergency responders from surrounding areas called to rush in. Firefighters using ladders to battle the inferno from above, pulling in hoses to attack it from the ground.
First arriving units found heavy fire in the south side of the building. Along with the police department and fire department entered this building, made numerous rescues, and helped with evacuation.
Residents loaded into buses taken to a nearby firehouse. Families in a panic to find their loved ones, most reunited this morning. And there are still a lot of questions about exactly what happened inside this building. No word this morning as to what sparked these flames. Robin and George.
No lie. All right. Eva, thank you.
Yeah, we're going to move on to Washington now, where Republicans took big steps forward on their tax cut plans as the Democrats are engulfed in that firestorm from Senator Al Franken, forced to apologize for forcibly kissing a woman during a USO tour and taking this photo while she was asleep on the plane heading home. His accuser, radio host Leanne Tweeden, is here with Robin for a morning exclusive. First, our senior congressional correspondent Mary Bruce is on Capitol Hill with all the latest. Good morning, Mary.
Good morning, George. Well, the national outcry over sexual harassment came roaring through these halls yesterday. Al Franken is now the first U.S. senator to be publicly named in this recent wave of accusations against powerful men. And this morning, he is facing condemnation and calls from both sides of the aisle for an ethics investigation. This is the photo sending Al Franken's Senate career into a tailspin this morning. Franken pretending to grope radio host Leanne Tweeden while she was sleeping.
I guess I've always wondered if I had any talent.
Well, you've got talent.
Acting talent, Al.
The 2006 photo was taken as the two were on their way home from this USO tour. Now, Tweeden claims the then comedian was also sexually inappropriate in another way, forcing her to rehearse a kissing scene from a skit he wrote.
He just mashed his lips against my face, and he stuck his tongue in my mouth so fast.
The Democratic senator has previously criticized sexual harassers, speaking out on allegations against President Trump.
Speaking of awful things, the tape, the Hollywood Access Hollywood tape.
The grope tape.
Yeah, that was bad.
And recently, he's posted a slew of social media messages supporting victims who are speaking out. Franken is now apologizing for his behavior, saying in a statement, "I don't know what was in my head when I took that picture, and it doesn't matter. There's no excuse. I look at it now and I feel disgusted with myself. It isn't funny. It's completely inappropriate. It's obvious how Leanne would feel violated by that picture." Now, leaders of both parties want the ethics committee to investigate.
Sexual harassment is inappropriate in every circumstance, in every way.
Should he resign?
It needs to be looked into.
Now, Franken is not contesting these allegations, and he himself is calling for an ethics investigation. And Robin, he says he will, quote, gladly cooperate.
All right, Mary, thank you. And Leanne Tweeden, a news anchor at KABC Radio in Los Angeles, good enough to be with us here in the studio. Leanne, thank you. It's good to see you.
Good morning, Robin. Thank you.
How are you doing this morning? I know you weren't expecting this kind of reaction.
You know, I'm tired. I was up since 2 a.m. California time yesterday, and it was just, it was overwhelming. You know, it was a kind of a media frenzy that I think I wasn't ready for and expecting. I think I knew there would be some media attention. Right. I just wasn't prepared for everything that was happening yesterday. And then I got on a plane and, you know, and here I am, literally off the plane and from the airport straight here, so.
Well, again, we appreciate it very much. Of course, this happened in 2006, but you had a reason why you wanted to share your story now.
Yeah. You know, I originally did want to share it when I came back then. And, you know, it was a different time. And my then boyfriend, now husband, and the father of my 2 kids said, they're going to annihilate you. They're going to find every skeleton in your closet. You were a model. Your career at the time, I was doing the Best Damn Sports show with Michael Strahan, you know, on Fox Sports. And your career is going to be ruined. Don't do it now. Like, you know, just, it's not worth the effort, you know. Yeah. You're going to be victimized. Nothing's going to happen to him. So I stayed quiet. But I was angry. And with the whole Harvey Weinstein stuff coming out, you know, and all these other women coming out and talking, and every day we'd hear stories, and you know, I'm the news anchor on a radio show, McIntyre in the Morning in Los Angeles, and we were talking to these women. Congresswoman Jackie Spear came on our show about 10 days ago and told her story as a congressional aide when she was in her 20s. And she said her chief of staff trapped her in an office and took her head in his hands and kissed her and stuck his tongue in her mouth. And at that moment, you know, I just said, that happened to me. That was Al Franken, and that happened to me. And I said, that was my sign. I think if I don't speak up now, I'm going to forever hold that and keep it with me forever. That was my moment to speak up. And, you know, I have 2 little kids. And I said, this is my time to, you know, worse has happened to other people, but maybe I have a platform to speak out, because if he did this to somebody else, or if anybody else has stayed silent, or anybody else has been the victim of any kind of abuse, maybe they can speak out and feel like they can come forward in real time and not wait a decade or longer.
And that was your motivation, as you said. It wasn't to destroy him or anything like that.
You have to shine a light. Right. Somebody, you know, these people need to be called out. A light needs to be shown to expose what is happening, to do a change, to change the culture.
When that awful, awful photograph, you on the plane, not even knowing this picture was taken, you didn't know it until later when the pictures were released and you saw it. And you said, not for one moment did you think it was a joke that went awry, that you felt that he was trying to send you a message? What did you mean by that?
Because of everything that had happened before. You know, I released a statement because everything that had happened in totality, with the forced kiss when he stuck his tongue in my mouth, and then that tour, I had to endure being with him for almost 2 weeks, you know, and there were little jabs, there were comments. I mean, I separated myself as much as I could from that tour, from him. I was never alone with him again. But you know, we'd be doing autograph sessions and I'd have to sit next to him because we were the co-MCs, and I would literally sit with my back sort of towards him, and I'd see a picture of mine be pulled away out of the corner of my eye, and he would draw devil horns on me and the devil tail and push it back into my pile. So, you know, these were the petty things I was dealing with. So there were little things here and there. So, you know, most people are just hearing about the forced kiss and then the picture at the end, but it was the, you know, it was the humiliation through the 2 weeks of the tour that people don't hear about. So at the end, when I got that picture, it was like the final parting shot of the she's going to see this when she gets home, that I couldn't, you know, see him face to face to confront him. It was like she's going to see that, and sort of that was like his parting shot of the, you know, kind of in your face, I got you one last time. That's how I felt about it. I mean, you know, I was belittled and humiliated.
Yeah, and he even acknowledged that he can understand, now he can't understand why, but at the time he didn't.
And that's never funny.
No, it's never.
It's never funny.
Never funny. He didn't apologize until you went public. You had seen him since that time.
Of course, with my husband. And I was very cold to him then, and he had a chance to apologize and never did.
But you accept his apology now?
Yeah, of course. You know, the first apology sounded like a staffer. That was very quick yesterday morning when I first talked about it. And I was like, yeah, okay, you know, a 2-sentence apology. I accepted that as well because, you know, you sort of, you know, and politicians really have to get ahead of the game, right? And like, oh, I apologize. That was inappropriate. That wasn't me. All right. And the second apology, I think once things started happening in the media, people were talking about it, and, you know, the second one was definitely heartfelt, and I do accept it. I think he realized how people felt about it. Now it's a different time. 2006 is not 2017.
Not at all,
you know?
with all that's going on. But you feel, even though he said he's going to agree and cooperate with the ethics investigation, but and some people are saying, should he serve? Should he still be a senator? Where do you fall on that?
You know, that's not my call. I didn't do this to have him step down. I think Al Franken does a lot of good things in the Senate. You know, I think that's for the people of Minnesota to decide. I'm not calling for him to step down. You know, that was never my intention. And I think for people to just know, I just wanted him to understand what he did was wrong and how he treated me, and how abusers who I think do that under the guise that it's funny, or that, oh, I can get away with it because I was a comedian and it was funny. That's never funny. But when you shine a light and go, that's the culture, that's the change that we need to make, and go, that's never funny, but people have gotten away with that forever.
And that's the change that we're hoping with all these discussions.
Yeah.
And a final question, I can't forget yesterday when you concluded your interview and you said all you wanted to do was go home and hug your little girl and your little boy and be with your husband, and you were able to do that. They're too young, they're only 4 and 2. What do you want them to be able to understand when they're older about this?
You know, my husband yesterday was so great. And, you know, I did a lot of interviews yesterday just with the media, and my husband, first of all, who I love very much, Chris, I love you. He said, I'm so proud to be your husband. And he goes, I want to save some of those videos, and I want to show the kids when they grow up their mom, because I want them to know what you did today, because it's important, and I think you're a part of a change in a culture that's going to make a difference for their generation. And he said, and I love you for that.
We so appreciate that, Leanne. All the best to you. I know you want to get back to your family. Thank you for being here.
Thank you,
George.
Thank you, Robin. We now have more on Alabama Senate candidate Roy Moore. 7 women have now accused him of inappropriate conduct. Senate Republicans want him out of the race, but he remains defiant, and the Alabama GOP is now backing his bid to stay on the ballot. Our chief national correspondent Tom Yamas is in Birmingham with the latest. Good morning, Tom.
George, good morning to you. Roy Moore may be in the middle of a political firestorm, but he just caught 2 lifelines. The first one, the one you just mentioned, the Alabama GOP sticking with him. They're breaking with the National Party, and they say they're standing by Roy Moore. And then the other one, the big one that happened yesterday, Donald Trump, the White House announcing that President Trump will not call for Roy Moore to drop out of this race like some in the Senate have, some Republican leaders in the Senate have. Now, Moore's campaign also announcing they're going to be watching election results very closely, and they'll, quote, fight Mitch McConnell to the death on this. This as allegations of sexual assault and inappropriate flirting have been mounting against Moore. Yesterday, he faced cameras for his first open news conference, but refused to take any questions about the allegations, which led to an abrupt exit. Moore and his wife, Kayla, then had to walk out in the middle of this news conference. Moore staying silent the entire time, dodging questions, and he actually had to escape into a kitchen. Now, Moore has said he's never sexually assaulted anyone or dated underage girls.
Tom, not a lot of polling so far, but some evidence that Moore is taking a hit.
Yeah, a big poll came out yesterday, and it showed the Democrat in this race, Doug Jones, up by 8 points. Now, there was a moment in this race where Roy Moore was up by double digits. This is only a single poll that was conducted this week, but it shows possibly a shift in what voters want. George?
Okay, Tom, thanks very much. As Tom said, President Trump is refusing to weigh in against Roy Moore, but he did pounce on those Al Franken allegations overnight, despite the fact that about a dozen women have detailed allegations of sexual misconduct against Trump. Our senior White House correspondent Cecilia Vega has that story. Good morning, Cecilia.
George, good morning to you. With the president firing off on Al Franken the way he did, this puts him in dangerous political territory given those allegations he faces. President Trump overnight breaking his silence, his response to that photo that now has Al Franken fighting for his job, a tweet accusing the Democratic senator of going even further. He said the Al Frankenstein picture is really bad, speaks 1,000 words. Where do his hands go in pictures 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 while she sleeps? And to think that just last week he was lecturing anyone who would listen about sexual harassment and respect for women. That came just hours after the accusations against Franken broke. But as for the more than week-old allegations against Alabama Republican Senate candidate Roy Moore, no comment. Should Roy Moore resign, Mr. President? Do you believe his accusers? Despite our repeated questions. The White House instead forced to make the public response. Does the president believe Roy Moore's accusers, and does he think Roy Moore should drop out of this race?
Look, the president believes that these allegations are very troubling and should be taken seriously, and he thinks that the people of Alabama should make the decision on who their next senator should be.
President Trump faces his own accusations of sexual misconduct. More than 10 women coming forward during the campaign. He's now being sued in federal court by former Apprentice contestant Summer Zervos.
Today, I filed a lawsuit against Donald Trump for defamation.
The president did not hold back.
Total fabrication. All of these liars will be sued.
He never did sue, but in the wake of that infamous Access Hollywood tape.
And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything. Whatever you want. Grab them by the
President Trump downplayed it as recently as last month.
That's locker room. That's locker room.
Now, during his recent trip to Asia, the president would not answer questions about Roy Moore because he said he hadn't really been following the story. He promised to answer these questions when he got home. It has been days. There has been silence here from President Trump on this. He has just one public event here today. Robin and George, reporters will not have very much access to him.
But a lot of questions to be posed. Okay, Cecilia, thanks very much.
It has been quite a week. Let's go now to Ginger with that holiday travel alert.
Yes, and Robin, going into this pre-holiday weekend, this is the type of image we do not want to see. Highways shut down in Mount Rose, Nevada. That was State Road 431. Several of them actually shut down with the high wind and rain and then the snow to follow. And that's the type of system this is. Going into the Great Lakes, if you have a flight on Saturday in Chicago or St. Louis or Cincinnati, watch out. The winds on Sunday going to be a problem in the Northeast. The weekend getaways now brought to you by Liberty Mutual.
Liberty Mutual stood with me when I was too busy with the kids to get a repair estimate.
Liberty did what?
Yeah, with Liberty Mutual, all I needed to do to get an estimate was snap a photo of the damage and voila.
Voila. I wish my insurance company had that. Wait, hold it, boys. It's supposed to be 3 of you. Where's your brother? Where's your brother? Hey, where's Charlie? Charlie?
You can leave worry behind when Liberty stands with you. Liberty stands with you. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Well, today's going to feel much cooler than yesterday. We're starting out in the 30s, and there's even some leftover wind this morning. Today, lighter winds by the afternoon hours. 51 degrees, your high temperature for today. Now, we'll get into the upper 50s tomorrow, but with lots of clouds around the area. We'll track some rain mainly for your afternoon and evening for tomorrow. And then Sunday, much colder, 49 the high with windy conditions. It will feel like we're in the 30s much of the day. Most of next week dry, including Thanksgiving.
The serial killer who broke out of that psychiatric hospital in Hawaii is now speaking out from behind bars, explaining how he did it. Did he have help?